This is a SchoolPay training video for nonprofit organizations. The goal of this video is to provide you with the knowledge to use your SchoolPay account to collect and manage payment for your organization. The agenda for this training is 1. To provide you with an overview of SchoolPay, 2. To discuss your options for collecting payment online, and 3. Train you on how to use your SchoolPay Administrator account. You will have access to the SchoolPay Administrator module, which gives you the tools to fully manage your SchoolPay account. You can access your account by going to www.schoolpay.com. Your SchoolPay account allows you to manage your account settings, create payment items and multi-item pages, and run reports. When using SchoolPay, it is important to understand what a payment item is. In SchoolPay, a payment item is configured for anything you are accepting payment for. If you are collecting payment for memberships, you will create membership payment items. If you have multiple membership options, you will create a separate payment item for each option. For example, if you offer student memberships for $20 apiece, you will create a payment item for student memberships at the price of $20. If you offer staff memberships for $10, you will create a separate payment item for staff memberships at the price of $10. A multi-item page is a single page that lists multiple payment items on that page. Individuals making payments to your organization can then select and pay for any of the individual items listed. Using the memberships example, you can create a multi-item page that gives parents the option to purchase either a student membership or a staff membership. The primary method for collecting online payments via SchoolPay for nonprofit organizations is through multi-item pages. Your organization can create as many multi-item pages as desired. We will review this process shortly. To use multi-item pages, nonprofits can simply take the URL associated with their organization's multi-item pages and link them to their website. The multi-item page we are viewing is a page set up by the Washington High School PTA to collect payment for membership dues. The Washington High School PTA can take the URL or web address of this page and post a link on their website that states, "To pay your annual membership dues, please click here." This has a link that takes them to this particular multi-item page. They can also email this link to anyone wishing to make a payment item. Once an individual has been directed to this multi-item page, they can select from the different membership options presented. Once they have selected their membership option, they can process their payment. Multi-item pages are very simple to configure and provide nonprofit organizations with a great way to collect payment from individuals in the community. Nonprofit organizations affiliated with school districts that currently use the SchoolPay Payment Center have an additional option for collecting payment online. If your school district uses the SchoolPay Payment Center to collect payment for things like school fees, food service, or any other online payment, your nonprofit organization can post your payment items in the SchoolPay Payment Center as well. The SchoolPay Payment Center is used by school districts to collect payment online and can be accessed at www.schoolpay.com. To use the Payment Center, parents simply log into their Payment Center accounts. Once logged in, parents can pay for their students' school fees under the School Payments section. Parents can also make deposits into their students' food service accounts under the Food Service section. Lastly, the parent can select the Parent Group section. The Parent Group section is where a parent can pay for any items posted by the various nonprofits supporting the schools their students attend. If your nonprofit supports a school that uses the SchoolPay Payment Center, you have the option of posting your payment items in the Parent Group section. Just like a multi-item page, the Parent Group section lists out the various individual items you have configured. Using the Parent Group section, a parent can make a payment for their students' school fees, their students' food service account, and they can make a payment directly to your organization, all in one transaction. The funds paid against your payment items will go directly to your account and will never be mixed with your school or district funds. Now that we have reviewed the ways for your organization to accept payment online using SchoolPay, we will provide you with an overview for using the SchoolPay Administrator module. The SchoolPay Administrator module is where you can go to manage your account, create multi-item pages, and access the reporting. To access the SchoolPay Administrator module, we will go to www.schoolpay.com. You will log into your account using your email address as the username. When your account was created, you were sent a system-generated email with instructions for accessing your account the first time. If you did not receive that email, you can simply enter your email address and click on the lock icon to reset your password. Once you are logged in, you will be presented with your account dashboard. Here, you will see a summary of your account's recent activity. Don't be alarmed if you don't see any information populate here if this is your first time logging in. That will change as your account begins transacting. In the top right, you will see that your account is broken down into 4 main components: Virtual Terminal, Reports, Payments, and Promote. We will touch on these sections in a bit. If at any time you have questions about using your Administrator module account, you can click Help in the top right corner, where you will be presented with our customer service phone number and an email contact form. You can make changes to your account settings by placing your mouse over your initial in the top right corner and selecting from the various options. Today, we are going to cover creating new administrator accounts, creating payment categories, and adding general ledger accounts to your SchoolPay account. If you would like to grant new board members or volunteers for your organization access to the SchoolPay Administrator module, you will need to create an administrator account for those new users. You can create new user accounts by placing your mouse over your initial in the top right, going to Account Settings, and then on the left menu selecting Administrator Accounts. To add a new account, simply click New Administrator Account. You will be taken to an account creation form where you will be asked to provide the user's name and email address. Upon creating a new administrator account, that person will be emailed instructions for accessing their newly created account. Next, we will cover creating payment categories. To create a new payment category, select Payment Categories from the left side menu. Creating categories will also allow you to sort your various payment items by category. For example, you may have a category for memberships, donations, fundraisers, etc. You can create as many different custom categories as you like. To create a new category, simply enter the name of the category in the text field here, and select Add Category. Categories also allow you to create administrator roles based solely on that category. Next, we will cover adding chart of account codes to your SchoolPay account. To add a chart of account, click Chart of Account from the left side menu. Your general ledger accounts, or chart of accounts, correspond to the account codes that you use in your accounting software to account for incoming funds. For example, if you have an account for memberships in your accounting software and you credit funds from membership payments to that account, you can include that account name and label in SchoolPay. Doing so will allow you to assign payments to various general ledger accounts in the SchoolPay reporting. This will ultimately make the process of accounting for funds collected using SchoolPay easier. Not all nonprofits use COA codes, so this may not apply to your particular organization. We recommend entering in all of the accounts from your accounting software directly into SchoolPay. To add a new account, simply enter the account number and the account label and select Save when you are done. Now we will cover the process for the creation of individual items. To create our individual items, we place our mouse over Payments in the top menu and select Individual Items. This takes us to our catalog of individual items we have created. To create a new item, we click on the plus icon to the right of Individual in the left navigation bar. We will show you how an already created item has been made by clicking on the pencil icon. The Build Item form is broken down into 3 sections: General Details, Payment and Settlement, and Custom Fields. We must first configure the general details. Every field here is mandatory and must be filled out before the item can be saved. Every item must have a unique item title. Next, we select the item category. These are the categories we just configured in the Account Settings module. Pick the category that best fits your item, or you can always return to your account settings to create a new category. Next, we configure an item description. Each item must have an item description. This is your section to relay any information about the item to the individuals making payments for this item. We encourage you to be as detailed as possible in your description. You also have the ability to add images to your items. If this is your first time creating an item, you will be prompted to agree to our terms and conditions before you can upload an image. In the top right corner, you will see an orange gear. This is for your advanced item settings. There, you can configure additional settings for your individual item. By checking the limited quantity box, we can configure the maximum number of this item we want to sell. For example, if we are selling t-shirts and have only ordered 100 t-shirts, we will want to enter 100 as the available quantity so that SchoolPay will only allow 100 of this item to be sold. Anyone trying to purchase this item after 100 have been sold will be presented with a sold out message. Similarly, we can check the Provide Quantity field box. Doing so will give the person making a payment the option of purchasing more than one of this item at a time. Next, you can configure the item active settings. Not active means the item is not available for payment. Always active means the item is always available for payment, and active between dates allows you to decide when the item turns on for payment and off automatically. Lastly, you have guest privileges. No guest checkout means that all of your payers will have to create an account to purchase your item. This only applies to nonprofits of districts that use our payment center. Allow guest checkout is the default setting for all newly created items. It allows the item to be purchased both in the payment center and also allows people to pay as a guest using a link. Guest-only checkout applies to nonprofits that do not have an affiliated district that uses the payment center and only use our guest checkout payment links. Now that we have configured our general details, we must configure the payment and settlement settings. First, we select the settlement account. This is the account that funds paid against this item will be deposited into. Most nonprofit organizations only use one bank account. However, if you have multiple bank accounts configured, you can select the appropriate bank account here. Next, we select the chart of account that funds paid against this item are to be credited to. Lastly, we configure the price of the item. We have the choice between configuring a fixed amount or an open amount. An open amount allows the person making the payment to choose how much they are going to pay. We recommend using an open amount for things like donations so that people can choose how much they wish to donate. For this example, we will configure a fixed amount. After entering an item price, we can configure a convenience fee. A convenience fee will present as a separate line item and is used to cover the cost of processing a transaction. If I select Suggested, an amount will populate. The amount that populates is the amount you would need to charge to fully cover your costs. You can also configure separate amounts for tax and shipping. Now that we have completed our payment and settlement options, we will configure our custom fields. Custom fields are form fields that you can configure to collect additional information from payers at the time of payment. There are a variety of custom field options. You can review the options by placing your mouse over the little eye icon where a description of each field will be displayed. To add a new custom field, click on the plus icon. Now we will show how to add a text field. A text field will ask the payer to enter a response to the prompt entered as the field label. For example, we may request the payer to enter their phone number. Feel free to explore the other custom field options. Now that we have completed configuring our custom fields, we can save our item. Upon doing so, we are taken back to our catalog of items. By placing my mouse over the item we just created, I am presented with some action icons. One of the options here is to edit the item. You can also duplicate the item. Duplicating the item is similar to a Save As feature, where all the item settings are duplicated. We give the duplicated item a new name and change the settings accordingly. The next icon will present us with the link for this particular item. The purchasable share link can be placed on your website or sent via email to allow payers to process their payment as a guest. Down at the bottom of each item, we can click on the plus sign to activate or deactivate an item. An inactive item will no longer be available to accept payment. If your school uses the SchoolPay Payment Center, the plus sign next to Visible will denote that this item is displaying in the SchoolPay Payment Center. To remove an item from the Payment Center, we can click the plus to remove it. Because this item displays with a minus sign, we know it is no longer visible in the Payment Center. You can also click on the sold count number to run a report for the 7 people who have purchased this item. You can see the current price and lifetime sales amount as well. Now that we know how to create individual items, we can link our individual items to multi-item pages. To configure multi-item pages, we click on the plus icon to the right of multi-item from the navigation menu on the left. Just like a single item, we must give the page a title and description. Next, we scroll down to select the items we want to appear on the multi-item page. You can drag and drop your individual items here. Lastly, we can configure additional custom fields for the multi-item page. Now that we have configured our multi-item page, we can get the MIP link and post it on our website to begin taking payment online. Next, we are going to cover running reports with SchoolPay. The reporting section is used to review the various transactions that have been processed to your account, account for incoming funds, and to reconcile bank statements. To view the various reports, we simply place our mouse over Reports and select the report for which we want to view. Today we are going to view the Transactions report, the Items report, and the Batch report. We are going to start with the Transactions report. This report is used to search for specific transactions made to your account. As with most of our reports, we can populate our report based upon the Search Data section to the left. Some of the common search methods used are transaction number, order number, and payer name. Once you've clicked Search, your results will populate to the right. As with all SchoolPay reports, you may download the results to an Excel file by clicking the CSV button at the top of your screen. Also, within the Transactions report, you may email the receipt to the payer, view and edit transaction details, and issue a refund. To use a refund, click on the double arrow icon. When refunding a transaction, you have various options for the amount you wish to refund. The most you can refund is up to the amount of the original transaction. When you have confirmed the amount you wish to refund, click Make Refund. Now that we have reviewed the transaction report, let's review the items report by selecting Report, then Items. The items report is the most robust and the most detailed report in all of SchoolPay reporting. You will most likely be using the items report more than any other report. The items report will break down the specific items that were purchased within each transaction. If we need to generate a list of who all has paid for a given item, we will run an items report. For example, to see who all has paid for the student membership, we go to our search data options, select item options, and begin typing in the name of the item. Make sure to adjust the date range to include the date you began taking payment for said item. Once your list has been populated, you may download the details to CSV to view all information on the item, including the fields for additional information that we have configured during the item build. Our last report to go over is the batch report. You will use this report to see the deposits that have been made to your bank statement. This report is used to reconcile your bank account each month. The report will show you the deposit by date, the unique batch ID number, and the amount deposited. If you wish to view more details of a specific batch, you can click on Transactions, Items, or Chart of Account to see the details of the deposit. Once again, this report can be downloaded to Excel by clicking CSV in the top right corner of the screen. That concludes our nonprofit-specific overview and training of SchoolPay. There are many more detailed features available in your account that were not covered today. We encourage you to explore some of the other reports, our in-person payment module, and the Promote module as well. As always, please do not hesitate to contact SchoolPay support at 1-888-886-9729, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Central Time, or email us at support@schoolpay.com with any questions as you are navigating through your account. We appreciate your business and look forward to working with you and your nonprofit organization.